Hey hustlers, thanks for tuning in to Hustle with Holly. I'm your host, Holly Brink. In this show, I'm interviewing EXP Realty Iowa agent Brent Sexton. He's what I would call an expert on Facebook, social media advertising, as well as Instagram. So let's get started. All right. Hey, it's Holly Brink with EXP Realty, and today we're talking to EXP Realty Iowa agent Brent Sexton. We had an agent submit a question, wanted to know more about Facebook advertising and internet leads, and Brent is one of our experts in that area. So he said he would pop on in and tell us a little bit about what we can do to grow our business through Facebook ads and stuff. So take it away, Brent.
My background before I got into real estate was online marketing in a variety of different niches, settled down on real estate marketing before I got my license, worked with other real estate agents all over the U.S. doing their online marketing for them, primarily based on Facebook and Instagram, and that's my background anyway. So 4 years doing it, have quite a bit of experience in it, invested in several courses and coaching along with it, so
Yeah.
quite a bit of time and money invested into that anyways. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. So the first thing to remember about internet leads, specifically Facebook and Instagram leads, on the low end 1%, on the high end 6% of Facebook and Instagram leads will actually convert into a deal over an 18-month period. I mean, there's Facebook leads that I have now that I generated a year ago that are just now turning into deals. So, and your other goal to aim for with internet leads should be 20 to 30% of leads should be booked into an appointment in person should be your goal. 10% on the low end. We should really aim for 20 to 30%.
Okay.
So some of the conversion, the way to convert these leads, the best way to convert them is to call them within 15 minutes. Preferably within 5 minutes of them registering for your Facebook ad. And that's so important because a lot of people, if you don't reach out to them right away, they're not even going to remember entering their information on your ad. If you wait until the next day or 6 hours later to call them, they're not even going to remember even clicking on it. And so the way that I set things up is everybody gets an email right away. I call within 15 minutes, preferably within 5. To make contact, and I also send, if I can't make contact, I'll also send a text as well. And I've gotten a 70 to 80% connection rate with people. So whether it's somebody that's interested in buying or somebody that was just actually looking and has no buyer intent, 70 to 80% connection rate is what you should probably aim for your metrics. And that includes, I probably get less than 10% bad phone numbers and probably more around 5%. That could vary depending on the area you're in. In your connection rate, I've heard that depending on where you're at, if you're in California, for example, connection rates are pretty low there. People to get so many spam calls there, like in New York City. So your connection rates are probably going to be a little bit lower, but here in the Midwest, 70% is where I'm at anyways.
Okay.
And so phone calls are the best way to connect with a lead. I noticed that when I was just using text only, there was a drop off in connection rate of about 40 to 50%. So it's way easier for somebody to say no, that they're not looking for anything over a text versus if you're using your scripting over the phone. So the whole goal is to set an appointment in person, whether you're doing a Zoom meeting because of the COVID going around, or you're setting a meeting at the office, or if they're a homeowner, setting it at their home. The whole goal is to set an appointment in person. Is because if you don't, even if you call them, have a really good conversation with them, they're probably not going to convert. They're going to end up doing business with another agent. Had that happen to me where I had followed up with them several times over the phone, but because I didn't get an in-person meeting with them, they ended up listing their house with somebody else or buying a house with somebody else. So it's all about setting an appointment in person. Like I said, whether it's at your office if they're a buyer or at a coffee shop, just to go over your buyer consultation or at their home for a seller consultation. So scripting could be its own separate class here, but I'll get into it just a little bit.
Okay.
Because most internet leads, when you call them, they're going to say, I'm just looking. It's essentially like a cold call. It's completely different than a warm referral. Everybody's going to say, I'm just looking. And, all out of all the courses and coaching that I've taken, and just with my own experimentation, because I call all my own internet leads, I don't use an ISA service or anything like that. I reach out and I'll say, hey, is this their first name? So I'll say, hey, is this Holly? Or I'll say, hey, Holly. Wait for them to respond. They'll say, yes, this is Holly. I'll say, hey, it's Brent with EXP Realty. I saw you just registered for a home advertisement I had on Facebook a little bit ago. I just want to call quick just to say hi and introduce myself and make sure you got all that information okay. And most of the time they're going to say, oh, yeah, I was just looking. And so your goal is to keep them on the phone and talking about, because most people, they're not going to click on a housing ad if they don't have any intent to do something, whether it's a year from now or it's 2 weeks from now.
Right.
Most of the people are going to be have some sort of intent anyways. And so my next line, when they say, I'm just looking, I say, great. If you're looking for a good deal on a home, I'd be glad to keep my eye out for you. How many bedrooms and bathrooms are you looking for? Or is there any specific town or location that you want to be in? And the reason I say a good deal is because everybody wants a good deal on a home. So
Right.
if I'm just looking and you say, would you be interested in a good deal on a home or an off-market property so you don't have to compete with other buyers? Because most agents know of people, if you've done any type of home valuations or you're just out there talking with people, that you've talked to people that are thinking of selling, but they're not listed yet. And so either are you looking for a good deal, or would any off-market properties interest you by chance? And if they continue again to say, I'm just looking, then I kind of take it a little bit different direction. Like, are you a homeowner or are you a renter right now? If they're a homeowner, how long have you lived there? Do you have a family? Do you have any kids? Just start talking about them a little bit. And then say, if you ever did decide to make a move, where would you go? And then they're going to start talking about it. Now, some people, like I said, a small percentage of people are actually going to be just looking, where they have no buyer intent. And as you progress through this and do this a few times, you'll get to know a sense of who's actually just looking, and has no buyer intent, and the people that are serious. But these are the scripts. And then when you want to push for an appointment in person or in the office, let me see if I have that on my next slide here. Yep. So you want to get their motivation to move, whether are they looking to downsize? Do they just have another kid, so they need something bigger? Find out their motivation. And the best way to get to that is just remember the phrase, tell me more about that. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're looking for a 4-bedroom house with 2 bathrooms. Oh, tell me more about that. Oh, yeah, we just had another kid. So we've got 3 kids now, and we only have a 3-bedroom house, and it's only 1,500 square feet, so we need something bigger. So just get down to their motivation. Or if they say, I'm not ready to move for 6 months, tell me more about that. Like, well, our kids are going to graduate here in 3 months, and we're going to downsize. So it's always important just to get to the bottom of their motivation. And I always like to frame, if it's somebody that hasn't bought or sold something within a couple of years, you can usually frame a question to make it look like it's something that they're unaware of if they were to buy or sell. Mm-hmm. To get an appointment in person, rather than just saying, well, hey, let's just meet up. Always frame it as a way like, hey, how long has it been since you guys bought or sold a home? Most people, it's going to be over a couple of years. And you can say, well, the market's changed quite a bit since you last did that. Are you familiar with what happens and you could insert pretty much any situation into here. Yeah. Are you familiar with what happens if something goes wrong during an inspection? Are you familiar with what happens in a multiple offer situation? They're probably going to say no to these things. And you could say, okay, well, due to the ever-changing market, I could go over all those things with you guys. Even if you guys are a few months out from wanting to do something, at least you guys would know whenever the time is right for you and you're ready to move. You guys will know what it is that you need to do, or at least be prepared anyways. So that's the scripting that I use, and this could be its own class on scripting. And the best thing to do is just practice it, role play it. And yeah, it'll be uncomfortable and feel weird at first until you get good at it. But
Mhm.
scripting is the whole goal to converting these online leads, because it's essentially like cold calling somebody. And yeah, I definitely need to know how to script it. Otherwise, there won't be hardly any conversion on it. So, and some people are really easy. They'll come out and tell you, yeah, we're looking to buy this and we're going to buy in, a month, and this is what we want. But the majority of people are just going to say, I'm just looking, or give you some variation of that anyways.
Yeah. I like the tip about adding value right away. Like, these are the things I know that you don't, and this is why you should, we should get together. So I like that part.
Yeah, because most people don't know,
Right. A
what
lot
the
of
market's
things.
like. And so and they don't even know enough to know that they don't know.
Hmm.
So it's up to us to educate them, but do it in a way where we're asking them questions to get them to realize that they don't know
Right.
the answers to it. And then we come in and provide value by offering our buyer or seller consultation.
Hmm.
So,
Perfect.
so here's some of the elements of a great Facebook and Instagram ad. And for those who are, pretty new to that, Facebook owns Instagram, and we'll get into setting up the ad here in a little bit. But some of the elements of a good Facebook ad, and I see a lot of bad ones, is eye-catching images, great copy, like make people feel like they're going to get a deal if they click on your ad, or like they can't resist it. Great offer on it. And you also want to split test your images to find the best performing one. And yeah, we'll actually show you some of the ads that I use myself as well.
Okay.
So there's three primary types of ads that I use. Uh, List of homes under a median price point, like here where I'm at in the Spirit Lake, Okoboji area in Iowa. Median price point's around 200. And so some of the ads that I'll run is, a list of homes under 200. And you could change that and test to see which one does better, whether it's 100, 180, 175. Just, your home's median home value, and you're going to want to set your price range, because everybody's wondering how much they can get for their money. Even if somebody's looking for a $300,000 house, people always wonder what they can get for $200,000. And I mean, I've had people that have $300,000 budgets that have clicked on my $200,000 homes list ad.
Hmm.
So, list of foreclosed homes, there's not, where I'm at, there's not a ton of them, but everybody's looking for a good deal. And if you like to work with investors, that's a good one to run too. Single home listing ads or single properties are the best quality and higher intent leads that I've found.
Quick question. So if someone clicks on your foreclosure list, what do you send them, or what do you say to them?
So usually I have some type of automation set up, and I used to run it through a chat bot. And if anybody has any questions on that, you can ask me about it later. But after somebody would enter their information on it, the chat bot is all through Facebook Messenger,
Hmm.
and it will ask them, are you looking for foreclosed homes only, or are you looking for all the best deals? And 9 out of 10 people are going to say, give me all the good deals.
Hmm.
And which is just essentially a list of homes. Then you ask them, okay, how many bedrooms, bathrooms are you looking for? Okay, well, here's all the homes. So you just send them a list of homes like you would any other person. So here's the last ad that I ran just a couple weeks ago. Keep the copy short, but make it look like people are, enticing them and make them look like they're getting a good deal. I like to use emojis in mine. It is a social platform. So
Hmm.
this one was pretty short, ad copy. People don't want to read a whole big block of text when they're on Facebook. They're not going to read it.
Right.
And so that's why I keep it short, just like this. And I end up getting I got 74 leads for 97 cents. And this was over 3 days. I was actually too busy. If you want to stay busy, 10 leads a day is probably about all a regular agent can handle by themselves. But I ended up getting 5 appointments booked out of this. 3 were with homeowners, and there was at least half a dozen people that wanted to see the virtual tour of this home. So this one worked pretty good, and this was, like I said, just a single listing ad here. Here's another couple ad examples that I've run. This would be the list of homes. You can see that I've was split testing price on this. One of them 200, and if you just want to refresh your ad anyway, so it's not the same old ad, try a different price point, and just make sure you're using good images of homes, and don't be afraid to, like I said, reach out and ask your people in your office, your other real estate friends, if you can use images of their home in your online marketing material.
Great.
Any questions on anything, Holly, before we get into setting up the actual ad?
No, let's dive in. I'm excited.
Okay. Yeah. So you just want to go in. It'll be at the top right on your screen, and you'll just click down and go to Ads Manager. And mine looks a little bit different because mine's part of a business manager, since I do marketing for other agents too. In a business manager, I can have unlimited other real estate agents pages. But either way, find yourself in Ads Manager. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go and click on the Create button here. And then it's going to ask you what you want to do for a campaign. Since the first of the year, right around there, we do have to select that we're in a special housing category. And you do want to make sure that you do select this and put housing. Otherwise, your ad account, you could get banned or suspended. Your ad account could, or even your whole Facebook account if you don't. And so you'll want to do that. And then you want to give you all these objectives. And you'll want to come down and click on the one that's called lead generation. Then you want to name your campaign so you can remember it when you go and click on it. I don't do anything with the create A/B split test or the campaign budget optimization. I leave those off. This may be on by default, so just turn it off. If you've never run any ads from your page before, there'll be a view terms thing here. You'll just click it. Facebook will ask you to agree to their terms for advertising, and you'll say yes. Then the next page, it's going to give you your audience, where you want to go with that. Custom audience, you can just leave that blank. Down here, it's by default, it's going to be the whole United States. Well, you only want to advertise to your area specifically. And so you're going to come over here and you're going to enter in your zip code or your area. And there's going to be a 15-mile default radius, which is the closest you can do in an area, since Facebook changed the way that it has their housing ads. The age, you can't change the age at all. That's all stuck in there. You can do some interest targeting, some detailed targeting. Facebook will take your keywords that you have, and they'll show those. So if you have keywords about buying a house, your home's list is more up to date than Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com. Facebook's going to get those keywords, and they're going to say, okay, this person is trying to show ads to people that are interested in those things, Zillow, house hunting, Realtor.com, and they're going to show those ads to those people. So as far as using detailed targeting, Facebook's algorithm is pretty smart, and it will figure out who wants to see your ads or who it should show your ads to pretty quickly. Next, then, this will be on default on automatic placements. You'll want to set it to manual placements. I just check Facebook and Instagram. If you're more on a limited budget, just do Facebook only. And I always split test to see, because I do get leads through Instagram too. And what you're going to want to do is, once you check those, you're going to want it in the Facebook and Instagram feed only. Uncheck all this stuff down here, all these boxes from here on down, uncheck all that. They don't perform very well in these other categories. If you did have more of a budget, you could leave Facebook Marketplace checked, because you can get some leads through there that aren't super expensive. But just to keep it basic, Facebook and Instagram newsfeed.
Okay. Below
that, it's going to ask for your budget. You should probably plan on, if you're completely optimized, you should be getting leads for less than $5. If you're in California, leads are going to cost you more than that, like $10, $12. But I've gotten leads in Las Vegas, for example, where there's a bunch of advertising for less than $5. So if you have it set up right, you can get leads for less than $5. And so if your budget's $20 a day and you're getting $5 leads, you're going to get 4 leads a day. If you know what your lead cost is going to be, more than 10 leads a day would probably be too much for just just any agent. Even if you're highly motivated, it's a lot of phone calls to make. So
Mm-hmm.
set your daily budget, leave this blank. Don't do anything with that. You want to select your Facebook page if it's not already selected. Select your Instagram account. You're going to want to select single image or video for your ad design. So your ad design, after you scroll down from that, it's going to be some default image. So we're going to want to X out of that. Then there'll be a media page where you can add an image. And so you want to go in and add an image. And don't do anything with this. Just leave this by default here. And we're going to get into canva.com here real quick. And just click on create a design, custom dimensions. And you always want to use 1080 by 1080 for your dimensions. Because most of your leads are going to be on their mobile device. And this just creates the best image for people on your mobile device. So you're going to want to click on create a design. I always use grid style images. And so you just click on elements, click on over to grids, see all. And you can play around to see with what one works best for you. Either use this one, or you can use different ones. There's one where it's split into 4 corners equally like this one. But one I'm just going to use for this example is this grid. Then you want to click on uploads, and you can find some of the, you want to upload some of your homes that you have that you're going to use for your advertising. So just for this example, just going to use this home. You want to put the picture of the outside of the home at the top one. And the next one I would recommend would be a picture of the kitchen. So if you have one that has a really good kitchen, you want to pick that. So let's just say this one, for example. That's a really good one of the kitchen. And if there's one of another good place of the house, like, if it has a nice fireplace or something else that, people really look for, you can use that. So like this is a really nice finished off living room. So I'm going to put that one there. And then just name your image, and then just click the download button, and it'll download for you. And then that's what you're going to end up uploading to Facebook anyways. So feel free to pause that and go back through it and rewatch it if you have any questions on canva.com. So here is where you want to use your text. So when I showed you guys the examples of the ads that I'd run, go and get your emojis, whatever ones you want to use, enter those as your text. Your headline, the single listing ad I had was just listed in Milford, or list of homes under 200,000. Whatever you want to put, that's where that would go for text in the headline, because the headline is going to show up down here. You want to click on learn more as your call to action. By default, you sign up. So you're going to want to click on learn more for that. And it's all going to auto-populate over here and show you what it looks like. Below that, it's going to say instant form or automated chat. You want to click instant form.
So I assume you've tested both Messenger and lead forms, and so you've found that you get better results with the lead form?
Yeah, I have done a lot with bots or Messenger bots in the past, which is I use a different service, but Facebook has its own automated chat that they've set up, because this is all through Facebook Messenger.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of the lead clicking and entering their name, email, phone number, if you were using this one, it would send them a message in Facebook Messenger, and then you could start asking them, what kind of house you're looking for, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, and you can set it up so it's all automated. So if they say 4 bedrooms, it'll say, okay, great. How many bathrooms? They respond. The automated chat responds and says, okay, great. What price range are you most comfortable in? They respond. And and you can also ask for their contact information. It's just with an instant form, you get it all right away, versus this, if you're asking for it, they may not give it.
Right.
And so that's why I just use instant form, because I've tried to convert people through Messenger before, like trying to set an appointment and, sending them new homes that they might be interested in. And most people just don't respond. They just go, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have their email or their phone number. And so, so that's why I always like to use instant form for that.
Okay.
Lead form, I always turn off the intro on that. It's going to ask if you want more volume or higher intent. I just leave it on more volume. I always turn the intro off. So it's going to ask you for the questions. By default, full name and email will be there. But what you want to do is click on add category, go down to contact fields and put phone number in there because you want all three of them. And then how you want to order them is full name, email, and phone number. You can drag these around. But the order that you want them in is full name, email, phone number, just because it goes from the easiest thing to give to the hardest thing to give as far as their willingness to provide the information. And it's all auto-populated anyways, but this is the order you're going to want it in.
Okay.
And then don't forget about the privacy policy. So when you're on after questions, which is their name, email, phone number, privacy policy, you'll want to click on that. It's going to bring up this page. Your link text is going to be privacy policy. And I just use the my homepage URL for this. I've heard of some people, and I haven't experienced myself, and I don't want to find out. Because your website does have a privacy policy link that you can click on. But if Facebook doesn't like the wording in your privacy policy, they may shut down your ad or your ad account. It's just the algorithm makes all these weird decisions sometimes. And so I just put the homepage of my website here because your homepage does have a privacy policy link on it on the bottom. And so you'll want to do that. Otherwise, your ad won't be able to run. And I also add privacy policy and terms of use as well, just because it says on our terms of use that you may be contacted if you enter your information. So I always do that. And then the thank you screen, now I just have it linked to either a list of homes on my website. In KV Core, you can create the squeeze pages. And so that's what I've been sending people to is I'll put, the link to the single listing, or if you make a list of homes for in KV Core on a squeeze page, you can send them to that. I just make sure that you don't have any type of force register on there. Make sure you put never for how many times before registering, just because they've already put in their information. And so you don't want them to have to enter that in again.
That makes sense.
Headline just says, click here to get your list of homes. And description, click the blue button below, which is below here. On what they'll see is click here to get your list of homes, or click here to get your home you just signed up for. So I just send them to my website, and then you can remarket to them. If you have a Facebook pixel on your website, you can remarket to everybody that's been to your website. Okay, almost done with the ad setup. Your Facebook pixel, you should have that on and installed. If you don't know what it is or how to install it, KV Core is training on where to go to find that and how to install it. So I won't cover that here, but just make sure that's on. And then just click confirm. Facebook's going to review your ad. Review times used to only take a couple hours, but I've had some ads take 1 to 2 days before they're approved. It used to be 2 hours. Sometimes it still is, but sometimes it's longer. So it'll just be in review. I think the best time to start one is in the morning. I usually try to start mine around 5 or 6 in the morning versus, starting one at 8 o'clock at night. Just because Facebook has more user activity during the day and in the morning than at night. And the algorithm, it's going to have a harder time determining who to show your ad to if there's not very many people looking for it right away.
Cool.
So yeah, questions. So like I said, I do, if anybody's interested in any consulting or done for you marketing services, I do offer both of those for a fee, of course. So either give me a call or a text or an email is fine. Whatever you need, or with any questions about any of that, feel free to get in touch with me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing as much as you did with us. It's such valuable information, and I'm really excited to either implement it or call you and have you do it for me.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Brent.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Thanks again for joining Hustle with Holly. I'm your host, Holly Brink. You can find more information and more content on freerealestateagenttraining.com. If If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I look forward to working with you. Thanks. Bye.